function, it is my pleasure to welcome onto the stage our Honorable Minister for Animal Husbandry, Srimati J. Chinjurani, who will be Next, it is our pleasure to welcome our session coordinator, Professor Muralidharan PT, onto the stage, please. So, once again, welcoming all our esteemed guests for the session on Train the Trainers and handing over to our session coordinator, Professor Muralidharan PT. Thank you so much.
Very good afternoon all. I think this is the 11th technical session of International Sports Summit 2024. And it is a very important session. It may be helpful for all the assembled physical educationists, trainers, coaches, as well as the public. Train the trainers. It involves a comprehensive knowledge of coaching techniques, sports science, and effective communication to enhance the ability to guide and develop athletes. And first, the session will be chaired by Srimati Chinjurani, Honorable Minister for Animal Husbandry. On behalf of ISSK 2024, I welcome Srimati Chinjurani, Honorable Minister for Animal Husbandry, to chair the session. Welcome, Madam. And the moderator of the session is none other than Sri Raj Mohan MK, Deputy Chief Coach, Indian Athletics. On behalf of ISSK, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Raj Mohan. We have a prominent panel to deliberate session, to discuss in this, to make discussion in the session. First, First, we have Commodore Pushpendra Kumar Garg, and he is the Chief Executive Officer TOPS. On behalf of ISK, I welcome Commander Pushpendra Kumar Garg to the stage. And we have, next we have Alexander Diaz de la Rosa, is a former Real Madrid player, is a UFA co-coach, and he is the founder of CEO of PA Team Soccer Spain. And I also invite Miguel Gonçalves, he is a former Madrid player. They were present together. On behalf of ISK, I welcome both Alexander and Miguel to the stage. Next, I invite Paul Wasney from UK. He has 13 years of coaching experience in football. He is the Asian Football Confederation Pro Diploma and also UEFA Coach A license. He has experience in Federation, Association and professional clubs. On behalf of ISK, I invite also welcome Paul Wasney to the stage. And we have our outstanding personality, KC Lega, Standing Committee members, Kerala State Sports Council. On behalf of ISK, I also invite Ms. KC Lega to the stage. And over to moderator. Sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all for the afternoon session for the discussion of Train the Trainers. May I invite Srimati J. Chinjurani, Ministry of Animal Husbandry, Government of Kerala, to address the gathering. Madam, please.
Respective moderator, Mr. Raj Mohan, Deputy Chief Coach, Indian Athletics, Commander Pushpendra Kumar Garg, CEO TOPS, Mr. Alexandro Diaz de la Rosa, former Real Madrid player, UEFA, Sri Paul Wasney, Global FB Development Manager, Bolton FC, Team Leader Gudiyaya, Sri KC Lega, Standing Committee, KSAC, Coordinator Professor Muralidharan, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഈ സെഷനിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുവാൻ വേണ്ടി എത്തിച്ചേർന്ന പ്രിയങ്കരായ വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കായിക താരങ്ങളെ, കായിക സ്നേഹികളെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കോച്ചുമാർ ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള പത്രമാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തകരെ, വളരെയധികം സന്തോഷത്തോടു കൂടിയാണ് ഇന്ന് ഈ രാഷ്ട്രാന്തര കായിക ഉച്ചകോടി അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് കേരളത്തിൽ ഇന്ന് ദിവസങ്ങളോളം നടക്കുന്ന ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ ഇന്ന് പങ്കെടുക്കുവാൻ ഞാൻ എത്തിയത്. ഇന്നലെയും അത്യാവശ്യം ഇവിടുത്തെ പരിപാടി കാണുവാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ എത്തിയിരുന്നു. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഒരു വലിയ മാറ്റമാണ് നമ്മുടെ കേരളം പോലെയുള്ള സംസ്ഥാനത്തിന് കായിക മേഖലയിൽ വരുവാൻ പോകുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സൂചനയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഈ രാഷ്ട്രാന്തര കായിക ഉച്ചകോടി എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാം. ഇന്ന് നമുക്കറിയാം, ഇത് വെറും കേവലം ഒരു കായിക ഉച്ചകോടിയായി മാത്രമല്ല, ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നവർ അത് പരിശീലകരായാലും കായിക താരങ്ങളായാലും അവർക്ക് കായിക ലോകത്തോടും രാജ്യത്തോടുമുള്ള പ്രതിബദ്ധത തെളിയുന്ന ഒരു വേദി കൂടിയാണ്. സ്വന്തം വ്യക്തിത്വത്തിൻ്റെ വളർച്ചയ്ക്കും അതിൻ്റെ വികാസത്തിനും ഒരു സമൂഹത്തിൻ്റെ വികസനത്തിനുമൊക്കെ ചില സംഭാവനകൾ ഈ കൂട്ടായ്മയ്ക്ക് നൽകാൻ കഴിയും. അത് ഉറപ്പാണ്. കാരണം നല്ല ഒരു കൂട്ടം കായിക താരങ്ങളെ വാർത്തെടുക്കുക എന്നാൽ നേതൃഗുണവും പക്വതയും അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ടീം വർക്കും ടീം സ്പിരിറ്റും സത്യസന്ധതയും സഹിഷ്ണുതയുമുള്ള ഒരു കൂട്ടം ആളുകളെ വാർത്തെടുക്കുക എന്ന രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ ഇന്നത്തെ ആവശ്യമാണ് അങ്ങനെ നിറവേറ്റപ്പെടുന്നത്. ഈ ഉച്ചകോടിയുടെ മുദ്രാവാക്യം തന്നെ പരിശീലകരെ പരിശീലിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. കോച്ചുകൾക്കും സ്പോർട്സ് വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ പ്രവർത്തകർക്കും നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലെ വിവിധ കായിക താരങ്ങളെ രൂപപ്പെടുത്തുന്നതിൽ, ജനങ്ങളുടെ ഭാവി രൂപപ്പെടുത്തുന്നതിൽ വലിയ പങ്ക് വഹിക്കുവാനുണ്ട്. പരിശീലകരായ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉത്തരവാദിത്തങ്ങൾ ഏറെയാണ്. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൻ പുറത്തറിയാതെ നിൽക്കുന്ന കായിക പ്രതിഭകളെ പരിപോഷിപ്പിക്കുകയും അവരെ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുകയും അവരെ ലോകത്തിന് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന വലിയ ഉത്തരവാദിത്തമാണ് നിങ്ങൾ നിറവേറ്റുവാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഇവിടെ എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന കേവലം പരിശീലകർ എന്ന വാക്കിൽ ഒതുങ്ങുന്നവരല്ല. യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ കായിക താരങ്ങളെ വ്യക്തിത്വ വികാസം രൂപപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന, അവരുടെ ഭാവിയിലേക്കുള്ള പ്രചോദകരും ഉപദേശകരും ഒക്കെ തന്നെയാണ്. ഒരു കാലത്ത് നമ്മുടെ കായിക രംഗത്തെ പരിശീലകർ അഥവാ കോച്ച് എന്നാൽ ആ വാക്കിൽ മാത്രം ഒതുങ്ങി നിൽക്കുന്നവരായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ ഇന്ന് അങ്ങനെയല്ല. അവർ കായിക താരത്തെ ഒരു നല്ല ഭാവി സ്വപ്നം കാണാൻ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കുന്നവരാണ്. കായിക രംഗത്തെ നൈപുണ്യത്തെ ശില്പഭദ്രതയോടെ മെനഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്നതിൽ അവർക്കൊരു വലിയ പങ്കുണ്ട്. കായിക രംഗമെന്നാൽ ഓട്ടവും ചാട്ടവും മാത്രമല്ല, കളികൾക്ക് പുറത്ത് ജീവിതത്തിൽ പാലിക്കേണ്ട ചില മൂല്യങ്ങൾ കൂടിയാണ് എന്ന് കോച്ചുകൾ നമ്മെ ഓർമ്മപ്പെടുത്താറുണ്ട്. ഇതിൽ നല്ല ലക്ഷ്യമിടുന്നത് പരിശീലനത്തിലെ പ്രായോഗികതകളും ചില സിദ്ധാന്തങ്ങളും ചേർത്ത് മൊത്തത്തിൽ കായിക ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ ഗുണനിലവാരം വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നതുകൂടിയാണ്. ഓരോ കായിക വിദ്യാർത്ഥിയുടെയും ഉള്ളിൽ ഉറങ്ങിക്കിടക്കുന്ന കഴിവും നൈപുണ്യവും മനസ്സിലാക്കി അവരുടെ ഉള്ളറിഞ്ഞ് വളർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവരുവാനുള്ള വൈദഗ്ധ്യം കൂടിയാണ്. അനുദിനം മുന്നേറിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന, അനുദിനം മാറ്റങ്ങൾക്ക് വിധേയമായി കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കായിക ശാസ്ത്രത്തെ മനസ്സിലാക്കുക എന്നതുകൂടി പരിശീലകരുടെ കടമയാണ്. മനുഷ്യ വിഭവശേഷിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള അഗാധ ജ്ഞാനവും ഒക്കെ അതിന് നേടേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലോക കായിക രംഗത്ത് ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന മാറ്റങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച് അപ്പോൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കി അതനുസരിച്ച് പരിശീലന സിലബസ് പരിഷ്കരിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ്. നല്ല കായിക താരങ്ങളെ വാർത്തെടുക്കുവാൻ അനിവാര്യമായി ആർജിക്കേണ്ട നൈപുണ്യം. സ്പോർട്സിലൂടെ സൃഷ്ടിക്കപ്പെടുന്നത് ആരോഗ്യമുള്ള ശാരീരിക വിദ്യാഭ്യാസമാണ്. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു നല്ല തലമുറയെ വാർത്തെടുക്കുക നമ്മുടെ രാഷ്ട്ര നിർമ്മാണ പ്രക്രിയ കൂടിയാണ് നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. വിജയിക്കേണ്ട കായിക താരത്തിന് ആത്മവിശ്വാസം വളരെ പ്രധാനമാണ്. അതിനായി വിജയം അയാളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ രൂപപ്പെട്ട് ഹൃദയത്തിൽ വിശ്വസിച്ച് അത് ഞാൻ നേടും എന്ന ഉറച്ച ബോധം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുക എന്നത് വളരെ പ്രധാനമാണ്. കായിക താരങ്ങളുടെ മാനസിക ആരോഗ്യം ഇന്നിവിടെ വളരെ പ്രധാനമാണ്. അതുകൂടി മനസ്സിലാക്കി വേണം നല്ല പരിശീലകർ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുപോകുവാൻ. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ പരിശീലന പരിപാടിയിൽ സ്പോർട്സ് സൈക്കോളജി എന്ന വിഷയം കൂടി ഉൾപ്പെടുത്തണം. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് കായിക താരങ്ങളെ മാനസികപരമായി ശാരീരികപരമായും നയിക്കുവാൻ പരിശീലകർക്ക് കൂടി സഹായകരമാകും. കായിക വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾ നമ്മുടെ സമൂഹത്തിൻ്റെ വിവിധ ശ്രേണികളിൽ നിന്ന് വരുന്നവരാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അവരുടെ സംസ്കാരത്തെ കൂടി ബഹുമാനിക്കേണ്ടതും ഉൾക്കൊള്ളേണ്ടതും നമ്മുടെ പരിശീലകർ ആവശ്യം സിദ്ധിക്കേണ്ട നൈപുണ്യമാണ്. സാമൂഹിക ഒരുമത്വവും സമത്വവും സാഹോദര്യവും ഒക്കെ ഇഴചേർന്നുള്ള ഒരു പരിശീലന പരിപാടിക്ക് രൂപം നൽകിയാൽ അത് അവരെ സാംസ്കാരികപരമായി ഉയർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നതിന് സഹായിക്കും. ഒപ്പം എല്ലാവരെയും പരിഗണിച്ചു എന്ന ബോധ്യം അവർക്കുണ്ടായാൽ അവർ കായിക വൈഭവം വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യും. ലോക കായിക ശൃംഖലയുടെ പാരമ്പര്യം ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുവാൻ കൂടി പരിശീലകർ തയ്യാറാകണമെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിനയപൂർവ്വം ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുകയാണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ വൈവിധ്യത്തെ കൂടി ഉൾക്കൊള്ളുവാനും പരിശീലനത്തിൽ തന്നെ വിവിധ കായിക വൈദഗ്ധ്യങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുവരുവാനും അതങ്ങനെ ആസ്വാദ്യകരമാക്കുവാനും നമുക്ക് കഴിയും. ഓരോ കായിക താരങ്ങളുടെയും കഴിവുകൾ ചേരുമ്പോഴാണ് ലോക കായിക രംഗം തന്നെ വികസിക്കുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ കായിക ലോകത്തിൻ്റെ ഐക്യവും ബഹുസ്വരതയും നിലനിർത്തുവാൻ കഴിയും എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിശ്വസിക്കുന്നു. ഓരോന്നിനെയും ഓരോ ദേശത്തെയും ഇന്ന് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് കള്ളി തിരിച്ച് നിർത്തുവാൻ നമുക്ക് കഴിയില്ല. അതിർത്തികൾ കടന്നാണ് ഓരോ കായിക രംഗവും മുന്നേറുന്നത്, അതിൻ്റെ കീർത്തി വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ രാഷ്ട്രങ്ങൾ തമ്മിലും വിവിധ രാഷ്ട്രങ്ങളുടെ കായിക ലോകവും തമ്മിലുള്ള സഹകരണം ഊട്ടിയുറപ്പിക്കേണ്ടുന്നത് അത്യാവശ്യമാണ്. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻ കായിക താരങ്ങളെ എടുത്താലും ആ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ ഉൾപ്പെടുന്ന കേരളത്തിലെ കായിക താരങ്ങളെ എടുത്താലും നമുക്കറിയാം അവർക്ക് ഒട്ടേറെ കോച്ചുമാരുടെ അഭാവങ്ങൾ പലപ്പോഴും കാണുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് യാഥാർത്ഥ്യമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും വിദേശങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള നമ്മുടെ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കോച്ചുമാരുടെ സേവനം നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ കൂടുതൽ ഉപയോഗപ്രദമാക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ കായിക താരങ്ങൾക്ക് നല്ല പരിശീലനങ്ങൾ കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് അവരെ ഉയർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടുവരുവാനുള്ള വലിയൊരു പരിശ്രമമാണ് കേരളം പോലെയുള്ള നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനം ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് എന്ന് ഞാനൊന്ന് ഊട്ടി പറയുകയാണ്. രാഷ്ട്രാന്തര സഹകരണമാണ് ഈ രംഗത്ത് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. എങ്കിലേ വളർച്ച നമുക്ക് സാധ്യമാകൂ. വിവിധ കായിക ഇനങ്ങളുടെ പരിശീലന പ്രയോഗങ്ങളുടെയും ഒക്കെ കൈമാറ്റവും ഒപ്പം നമുക്ക് വേണം. ഓരോ കായിക താരത്തിൻ്റെയും ഭാവി നിങ്ങളുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഭദ്രമാകാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് പരിശീലകർക്ക് ഈ രംഗത്ത് വലിയ പ്രാധാന്യം ചേരുകയാണ്. ഭാവിയിലെ മികച്ച താരങ്ങളായി അവരെ വാർത്തെടുക്കുവാൻ പോകുന്ന യഥാർത്ഥ ശില്പികളാണ് നിങ്ങൾ. കായിക രംഗത്തേക്കുള്ള നിക്ഷേപം നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള നിക്ഷേപം തന്നെയാണ്. അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള അധ്വാനം രാജ്യത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള അധ്വാനം തന്നെയാണ്. സൃഷ്ടിപരമായും അർത്ഥപൂർണമായും ചർച്ചകൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഈ വേദി, ഈ ഉച്ചകോടി ഉപകരിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ ആശംസിക്കുകയാണ്. രാഷ്ട്രാന്തര സഹകരണം ഇതിനുണ്ടാകട്ടെ. കായിക മേഖലയിലെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ കായിക മികവിലെ ഒരു നവപ്രതിബദ്ധതയ്ക്ക് ഈ സമ്മേളനം ഉപകരിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് മാത്രം ആശംസിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത മുഴുവൻ ആൾക്കാർക്കും എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും നേർന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നിർത്തട്ടെ. നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you very much, Madam, for the valuable words and elaborating the value of sports training, the aspects pertaining to the sports coaches and the sports science in the field of coaching and in Kerala. Today's topic is train the trainers. The topic which we need to elaborate in a wider perspective, and definitely we had to elaborate in the words of coaching education, what the coach's education looks forward, and how we can develop the trainers, refresh the trainers with coach's education, giving them higher level of educations and refreshing them the field of coaching, so that we can definitely produce many more international athletes and international medals from Kerala. And one more thing, another thing, how the technology will help in the developing the performance of the athletes, performance of the players. The technology enhances the players, and how we can definitely teach our coaches how to use the technology, how to enhance your knowledge in technologies. When I was going through some of the podcasts posted by Simply Faster, the former Chinese coach, he is Randy Handington. He was the coach of Mike Powell, is a world record holder in long jump. and the Subington, the Asian record holder in 100 meters. So he is having a diversified training methodologies, and he used to definitely focus on the technologies in the sports, which is currently available in the market, which can be utilized to enhance the sporting culture, sporting performance of the athletes. Some of the equipments he used to use was exogem. Exogem is vertical loading and also limb specific training methodologies allow the athlete to develop technical mastery in the building, kinesthetic awareness. So this he is using exogem, and he is using the velocity based training methodologies like Gym Aware, VMAX Pro and Move Count. And some of the other equipments he used to use was Kaiser. Kaiser, recently in our national camp also we are using Kaiser methodologies, Kaiser equipments to develop the parameters so that we can definitely go through the power outputs, how much power outputs the athletes are taking. And he also insisted on optogem, which can be used for calculating the stride length and stride frequency of the athletes. And I personally feel that definitely our coaches should train in these type of technologies so that in the forthcoming years, we can definitely progress more towards the technology and we can definitely go in a greater directions. Another important factors, I personally feel that we should definitely concentrate on nutritional awareness as well as the recovery process and the development of the infrastructure for the nutritional awareness as well as recovery process. Every centers, each and corner of the Kerala should have the recovery process and recovery centers so that the athletes and the players will be recovered properly after the training sessions. Now the floor is open for the discussion and request all the panelists to share the thoughts. Request Commander Pushpender Gurksa, CEO, Target Olympic Podium, Sports Authority of India, to share his thoughts on the subject, Train the Trainers.
Thank you, Rajmohanji. Honorable Minister and distinguished panelists, it is a great privilege to come here and share my views. I think sports coaching is in its most dynamic era. I will just start with a small story. There was a pro kabaddi match going on, and the raider goes in the other side to raid. He has almost won a point when a defensive player throws him vehemently out of the court into the lobby. The raider falls and is very annoyed. He is visibly very, very annoyed that he has won a point, but the defensive player has thrown him out into the lobby. He cannot control himself, goes and headbutts the defensive player and gets into a fight with him. This is a major pro kabaddi match going on. The referee stops the contest, calls both the players to the side, grants a point to the defensive players, to the Raiders team, because the Raider has actually won a point. But at the same time, he ejects the Raider from the game for his explosive behavior. Now, there is a big dilemma as far as the coach of the Raiders team is concerned, because according to their policy, anybody who is ejected from a game has to sit out the next game. The next game is very, very important because that will decide the playoffs. So what does the coach do? He is in a big dilemma now. So coaching is a very, very important, and it wants the coaches to be real, good decision makers and good at taking correct ethical and correct decisions. The role of a modern coach, high performance coach, is evolving and expanding, and we need to have the right environment for training the coaches. The world's best coaches are no longer just masters of tactics and techniques. They also have to be experts in managing people and professional networks. So what do we need? We need a system in India where we have a good system of training our coaches. We have the formal education system wherein coaches go to National Institute of Sports in Patiala and undertake courses and become coaches. But the environment in the world is a lot of informal education is also being provided to the coaches. So we have to see what should be the balance between formal education and informal education. What the coach should be doing on ground and learning from on ground. Further, what we have seen mainly here that after the NIS course, there are very few courses available for coaches in India. So there has to be a continuous professional development programs which should be started by maybe NIS is also thinking of starting some better courses, and various other institutions can take on this. If you see the Train the Trainers program of various other countries, the international ICCE, International Coaching Committee and Excellence, has already devised a full-fledged development program from coaches from grassroots to elite levels. So similar things have to be done in our country at all levels. The development of coach has to be planned much more. That's what I think. Then, as far as our coaches are concerned, there is a real need to teach them soft skills. Today, communication, decision making, ethics, and code of conduct, all these things are very, very important. Coaching is not only going in a field and standing and just putting people go round and round and leave it to that. So it's a full-fledged profession, and there is a need to guide the coach through his or her career for various stages of development so that they can go from grassroots to being high-performance coaches. The International Olympic Committee also has started a lot of courses under its 365 degrees learning program, and former athletes and all kinds of people can join those courses. Similarly, there are a whole lot of universities worldwide which are doing coaching excellence courses. So there is a real requirement in our country for starting the larger number of coaching courses all over the country. That's what I feel, and that is the need of the hour. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the valuable input. As you rightly point out, we are in the dynamic era of coaching. As we can see that last Asian Games, we have produced 107 medals compared to 2018 Asian Games. And regarding the formal education and informal education, rightly pointed out that definitely India is facing a problem like formal education and informal education in the field of coaching. And definitely we have to encourage the coaching education in the universities. Thank you very much, sir. As Ministry is having some busy schedules, she has to proceed for another program. I request Mrs. K.C. Lega, Standing Committee, Kerala State Sports Council, to hand over a memento to Minister Srimati Chinjurani. Moving forward, may I request Mr. Alexandro Diaz de la Rosa, former Real Madrid player, UFO Pro Coach, and Miguel Gonçalves Daston, Pro Coach, Principal CEO of PA Team Soccer, for their presentation.
Elabarkum Namaskaram. I think this is the best way to start today talking about our topic, and also to thank all of you to be here today listening to us, and also to thank the Sports Summit of Kerala to welcome us during these days. For us has been an amazing time to share new ideas, and now is our objective from India and from other parts of the world to work together and trying to develop all the children of different countries, and of course here in India. So first of all, thank you everyone. As I told you, we think that the best way to finish is to introduce a little bit ourselves and how we work and how we develop the Train for Trainers topic in our countries. I introduced myself a little bit. I'm Alex Diaz de la Rosa. I played 9 years at Real Madrid Academy, and I had the opportunity to train also in the first team with Jose Mourinho. After that, I moved to Atletico Madrid and United States. And with me, it's my friend Miguel González Larsson. He played also in Real Madrid Academy many years, also in different teams in Spain, the national team of Spain also, and now is currently living in Sweden, and both of us collaborate for develop programs for coaches. So that's why we think that we can talk a little bit about our experience as players and also as coaches. We want you to know a little bit about how we started. We started in 2017 when we stopped playing professional. And talking about me, I started in UEFA as a UEFA pro coach, and also teaching the rest of the coaches in UEFA courses in Europe. Okay. And today we became an all-round sports management company based in these 4 main items: the national part, international, education, and project design. Why we show you this slide? Because we think that all the coaches that we have in Spain and Sweden, all of them are related to all of this. All the coaches must be open-minded and trying to be always trying to work in different aspects, because the world of football is always changing, and we think that we need to be ready for different challenge every day. So talking about the national part, I'm going to tell you a little bit more. We have the academies in Madrid, okay, and also different parts of Spain. We try to select the players. First of all, and we talked about this the other day, we need the players, the boys and girls, to enjoy the way of football, and the talent will be detected. And our coaches always needs to improve on this, because sometimes we are only focused on the talent, we are only focused on which is the best player, we need to, which one is going to be selected. I think that football and all the sports, it's a global, we need to have a global mentality to share with all of them. And also we have the tournaments and camps, okay? And now I give the time to Miguel to talk a little bit about how he works in Sweden.
Good afternoon. I want to thank all the organization to make this event possible. Thank you for inviting us to Kerala, a really beautiful place. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Miguel González Larsson, and I'm the CIO and founder of MGL Evolution. I want to briefly share with you my experience in the world of football as a player for various elite clubs in Spain, including Real Madrid, and as a player for the Spanish national team. In my bravest moment, I suffered an injury that stopped my sport career. Just like for me, reaching the top is the dream of many players, but very few achieve it. What I want to convey with this is that journey doesn't end with an injury. With my passion for football, I have shifted my dream to developing football players who can reach the highest levels. Because of being inside this world, I can contribute with my experience and use to bring out of the maximum potential in each player. It's not just about player, it's about individuals with values finding their way through football. At MGL Evolution, we work with different types of analysis, particularly focusing on technical and tactical analysis. Based on the results, we identify players' strengths and weaknesses to create a personalized program and extract the maximum performance from each player. Our coaches provide details, instructions, and constant feedback during training. Training sessions can vary depending on the age and goals of the players and groups. We consider that a good relationship between trainers and players is the basis for development. We have years of experience, and this is a great opportunity to merge our knowledge with the sports people in Kerala. Nandi.
Okay, and now talking a little bit more about the international part that we have, Miguel and me. We have the different programs that we develop both in Spain, Sweden, and different parts of the world. That's why we are here to share the different way of methodology that we used to implement with the coaches. Okay, we have the programs, as we said, and as Miguel said, really in a really big words, to take care of the education of the boys and girls, not only related to sports. We have the different programs regarding and mixing the football and studies. That is the most important thing, because at the end they will finish their careers, and as a coaches we need to trying to tell them that the most important thing in life is after football, no? What are you going to do after football? So that's why we also develop these kind of programs. And also the project design with growth partners that we have around the world, and different event organization and functional training room, that we have our time and our moments to be together with the players and talking about all the aspects that Miguel mentioned. To talk a little bit more about the way of train, the methodology, I think that is important also to share with you how we work in Spain and also in Sweden. No? Miguel have the same ideas as a Spanish former player. So here you have an example. I think that is good to share with all of you how we used to work. As you know, Spain country is always focused on the ball, focused on taking care of the ball, so the coaches are always trying to develop this kind of drills, to create this kind of drills. So we always, as you can see in the slide, the warm-up always with individual technique. The ball is already with us in the first part of the training. We don't use to make too much physical part, but we can implement the physical part with the ball, of course. Main part with more technical and tactical aspects, and also the transition drills, and also my friend will talk about later about how they work in UK, and they are the kings of transition, so he will talk later about this. And also the psychological part of the game, that is really important, the decision making of the players. I think that as a coaches we need to also to improve this with the players, and having an objectives that must be done always with a feedback. This is very important for us, having a feedback of after the training session with boys and girls, to know if they learn something, and they can go home and talk with their family about the different aspects that they work. And these are the different methodological tasks that we used to implement in different countries. As India here also, we can have different topics like you can see here, the presentation of the Spanish model, systems, organizational guidelines in training, etc. I think that the most important way is to share everybody the way of work, okay? And finally, just to say thank you to everyone for listening us and during these days, and has been a pleasure. And we will finish with a short video of how we develop the experience for players as coaches. Okay, we try to always give national and international experience for players, okay, as trainers. Thank you very much, and also just our best sentence to finish is this one, and if we can, all of us keep on our minds this, it's really important, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call you can't deny. Better find a place to take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call you can't deny. Better find a place to hide.
Thank you very much, Nandi.
Thank you, Mr. Alexandro and Miguel, for sharing your thoughts. Definitely, there is a development stage, and they are going through the development stage. They're recruiting the grassroots development. They are going into the US scholarships and the elite level soccer universities. Also, they are focusing on that. And definitely, then thanks for sharing the tactical and technical analysis of your club. And thank you very much for the excellent presentation and for the video also. Moving on, may I request Mr. Paul Wonsey, Global Football Development Manager, Bolton Fans Club, to present his ideas.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, congratulations. What I've just seen there is absolutely fantastic. I think of a round of applause. My respects to the Honourable Minister, government officials, dignitaries, friends and colleagues. It's a great honour to be here. I'm really, really pleased to be on this podium here to speak in Kerala about the wonderful event and what I think is possible. There is so much potential. There has been some wonderful knowledge shared, and there is definitely a lot to be excited about. The benefits of sports are well documented. My area of expertise obviously is football, but I think what we can see from the last few days is there is a synergy in all sports. So from a football perspective, I was a player, moving on to be a coach, and then eventually a coach educator. I've had such a fantastic career. I don't think I could beat it apart from possibly playing for Real Madrid like these two guys. But I've had a fantastic 30 years in the business. Obviously for some, moving from being a player to actually being a coach can be a huge step. It's not actually just made because there's a good player. Being a coach takes a lot of different skills. It's already been touched upon that teaching is the bigger aspect than just being a player. So, from my background, I currently work for Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers are a club that was one of the founding members of the Football League, so a long time ago in the 1800s. But prior to that, I've actually had roles with other clubs, Premier League football clubs. I've been involved with federations, associations, and club level at different aspects, some being grassroots, going right through to the elite. And I've also been the national training head coach for the Western Australian programme. What I would like to share today is through the experiences and the different backgrounds that I've actually been lucky enough to be involved with, I can actually feel that there's lots of different synergies, as I mentioned before, that actually leads to the game here in India. I've been to India once before, 2 years ago, and had the pleasure to see a lot of football. What I will say is at the younger ages, the players are no different to where they are in Europe or South America. The key is to actually teach these players to step up bit by bit until they're eventually ready to make the grade into professional football. It was said yesterday, only 1% of these players are even likely to make a profession. But for the 99%, we can instill the game. It can be a love that will actually last a lifetime. They are supporters, hopefully coaches, certainly people that will be the spectators and follow the game widely. But for me, it's about keeping the kids in the game, and that's where training the trainers comes into play. Without coaches, there is no sport, and that needs to be recognised. The role of the coach really is about obviously being able to adapt to the necessary skills of what the players might need today, tomorrow and longer. For me, the role of the coach developer is to improve the coaching ability and to be able to increase the potential of those coaches. This is a multifaceted area and needs to support through the coaches for those that are starting out, as well as experienced accredited coaches wanting to further their careers. One of the massive areas that's necessary throughout the world is regarding the grassroots. Of course, the grassroots is the start of the pyramid and will actually be the biggest percentage of the players that remain in the sport. It is only those, again, as lucky as these two guys, that go on to be professional footballers. The rest, we want to try and keep in the sport, enjoying, learning, and above all, being able to socialise and use all the benefits that sport gives you. So, we need to support community coaches, grassroots coaches, and that is really, really key to how we build a structure. The first time participants, which are obviously the players at 6, 7, 8 onwards, they may be given the opportunity to train or play football with a volunteer coach that's had very little education from a coaching perspective. The problem there is that if this individual does not have a good time having fun, the likelihood is they will not want to come back. If they don't come back, we could actually lose them to the sport. So it's crucial that the coaches are taught how to work with the players from an early age and how that will be principally about enjoyment. We can do the learning in a steady manner over a period of time. So if we are dealing with teachers or novice coaches, the way that we must look to develop this is to show these coaches how to facilitate a practice rather than having to try and teach the skills that maybe they've never done themselves. But the method and practices are the ones that need to be given to these coaches so they can actually have a script to be able to build a practice that is just about organisation, giving the kids a lot of fun, but most importantly, just letting the kids play. The fact is that the game needs to be the teacher, and that does not need a lot of interference. It needs organisation, get the kids playing, and then let them have a lot of fun. The practices that can be designed are actually built with a learning outcome without the kids actually understanding that there is a learning part involved. This evolves through further practices down the line. Simply put, better coaches equals better players, and that's what we need to do through coach education for the future of Indian football. I would like now just to share a PowerPoint, a brief overview of what we actually do at Bolton Wanderers and with regard to coach education. So thank you. Oh, okay, I'll just tell him when. So start with the first one. Keep going. That's it. Is that on already? Yeah. Yeah. So I thought we'd just start by actually showing what we've got as our culture of excellence at Bolton Wanderers. The culture underpins the whole environment. All actions focus on holistic player development, and what we mean by that is we work on a four-corner model, very much like these guys do: technical, tactical, physical, social and emotional. Not one player is the same, and we need to actually be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses in all of those four corners on an ongoing process. The strategic approach to development is critical, and that means about having a structure. We have a structure that's got the philosophy, the whole methodology built into programs that we run throughout the region of the Northwest, but most importantly, we stick to our culture of excellence. Whether a coach is working with a young player that's only in the community program or a more advanced player that's maybe going close to signing a contract, we always have that strategic attack to the development. Then we need a clear vision and identity, which is a consistency of behaviour and practice. And then, of course, how do we know if they're developing? It's about having measurable performance targets, which allows us the continual review, reflection and obviously evolution as we move further forward. Training the trainers is vital, and it is an ongoing, evolving process. I cannot stress that enough. Training the trainers is not just about accreditations. Yes, getting on the AFC D license, C license, etc., like we've done in the past, is a piece of paper. It's about understanding the actual culture of what you are working in. So at Bolton Wanderers, our coaches do have the UEFA qualifications, but it's not off a script of the UEFA syllabus, it's our own syllabus/curriculum. Good coach education programs will create more opportunities to attract more coaches. That is a key element here in India, that there needs to be opportunities for coaches to take part, enjoy what they learn, and then have opportunity to progress. So making the courses affordable and worthwhile experience must be a focus of the programs. Most learning is done through experience and mentoring. Key consideration, which I feel is going to be a crucial element here in India, is we need to understand what the actual target, such as getting to a World Cup if we're talking about utopia, or is it about the participation growth? They are very different subjects, all part of the training the trainers. Coaching curriculums, the style that the coaches work with, the philosophies are all part of the wider methodology. However, the coaching development structure is very complex and takes time. It needs to work within the culture of what we've already got. So in India, there's some good players, there's lots of good coaches, but we need to be working on the same page. Next, thanks. This is a key slide for me, the importance of a structured coach education program. To produce technically excellent and innovative players that have exceptional decision making, which without that they're not players, in the first instance we must create the structure that actually allows for any player to participate. We must nurture that talent, and the more players you have from the beginning, the bigger the pool, the better the quality that will shine through. So, our programs at Bolton Wanderers, and we call it a community program, we actually have our academy, which has got the elite players. And when I say elite, it does not mean that they're going to be professional footballers. They're the best that we can find at this moment in time. And then we have our grassroots program, which works under the community development program. So our advanced programs, which is very much what your guys will be doing with the better players, we're looking to produce high-level technical support for these players that can then maximise performance, excellence. We want to create a positive yet challenging environment for these talented youth players to develop, as I've already mentioned, technically, tactically, physically, socially, emotionally. There is lots of components in each of those four corners, and it needs specialists to be able to understand and deliver what's necessary to the player. The very best players succeeding in the professional game need to be consistently performing at the top of the game. They must be resilient and focused. The grassroots level, which, as I've said, is 99% of participants, for us at Bolton Wanderers, has three key areas or pillars: participation, inclusion, and opportunity. That's an area that I feel if India can do this, particularly in Kerala, then you've got a real good opportunity of having some fantastic programs. So we use the power of football to make a difference to people's lives, just through participation. Value the game for its simplicity, passion and creativity, and using the popularity of the game to increase social impact. This is all relating to many, many areas that I've heard being spoken about all week. Coach education, again, is paramount in achieving those goals. Better coaching will help to produce better players and will provide a foundation from which to grow the game. So where from here? In collaboration with government, organisations, which might be private academies, or even existing clubs in the region. Let's try and build long-term partnerships that will support coaches with best practice, design and implement the professional coaching structures, provide on-ground support network through a team of local and international coaches. That, in essence, is the role that I have for Bolton Wanderers. I find partners across the world where we support their needs and requirements. There is not one method or one model that fits everybody. We will actually adapt the programme to try and suit what the customer, or as it is our partners, need. Then we want to build the depth and create a successful long-term plan. It's already been mentioned, maybe 15 years from now, can India get to a World Cup? Nobody knows. But from my side, and I'm sure from these guys, the 3 to 5 year plan is the starting point. A player now at 12 years old that's nourished and supported could well be at that World Cup, but it's not today. So, the potential for joint calibration. This is the sort of areas that in discussion we may be able to work together. There is a huge market here and there's not any problem for any European club or organisation to come into India and feel like there's a conflict and we're all fighting against each other. It is huge, and obviously with the numbers that we want to try and get to participate, not a problem having lots and lots of different international clubs, organisations, as I say, being here to support you as coaches. One more, just sorry. So this is the, oh sorry, you've gone too fast. So these are the sort of areas which touches again very much on our Spanish friends. The development of local coaches. We need coaching courses, not necessarily the accreditation, of course they run hand in hand. Educational programs and coach mentoring. Coach mentoring may well be something as simple as one of my guys, the coaches who represent Bolton, coming out and working with big groups of coaches just to go through the practical and theoretical practices that we might use for certain age groups. Then we've got the facilitation of visits to the UK. Rather than it be a tour for the kids, just to come and gain an experience, which of course we do as well, this is more about the coaches and their opportunities to have coaching exchanges where they actually come to us and see it done basically in England, and you'll just need some massive jackets to keep warm because it's different to what it is here. Okay, that's it. So I've skipped through that quite quickly, but of course now if there's any questions for any of us, then we'd be more than happy to see if we can address what you're wanting to know. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Paul Vosny, for the excellent presentation, and he he has elaborated that teaching is the bigger aspect than a player. Without coaches, there is no sport, truly said. And he explained about the advanced development and the grassroots community development for the grassroots level, and 3 pillars regarding the participation, inclusion and opportunities for the grassroots development in the Indian football or the world scenario. And one more thing, elaborated thing, he explained that definitely coaches need to be educated and they should be given the exposure with the online digital platforms for the learning purposes and exploring their ideas to the international level. And one more suggestion from my side, that coaches should be sent to some of the countries which are producing a lot of major coaches, and major learning opportunities should be given to the coaches in the international area, exploring their country's sporting culture. With this, we are going to wind up this session, and if anyone is having any questions to be asked to any of the speakers, you people are welcome. Mike.
I would like to ask Mr.
Please mention your name.
I am Shashindra Das, a science writer, science columnist. Sir, I would like to ask Mr. Paul about customized coaching. How the productivity of a player could be gathered, even with resorting to AI. Could you please elaborate on digital platforms
I didn't totally understand the question.
helping to gauge a player's productivity? I'm asking you especially on customized coaching, individualized coaching. Depending upon the physical status, the mental status of the player, how it varies. What are the gauging mechanisms? Can AI help to gauge the productivity of a player?
Okay, thanks for your question. I can't even say the word. Artificial intelligence is obviously developing at a really fast rate. From the academy perspective at Bolton Wanderers, we're not really doing it quite to the extent of what maybe AI is going to be capable of doing. What we've got, and it's not old practice, it's still current, but we always look at player-centered practices. And what I mean by that is each individual is always accounted for and evaluated based on their performance. So we work on the technical front, the tactical front, the social, emotional, and obviously the physical front. A lot of the younger players, it's not about data that shows how fast they can run. We're actually looking to see how they can play, the decision making, and actually how they can actually compete within that same age group.
Sir, I recently read somewhere that a sporting algorithm is being developed to gauge the caliber of a player, the productivity of a player. Some algorithm is emerging.
If we put something in the chat, GPT or something like AI, automatically the structure will be coming, how to develop individualized programs for the footballers. If there is any structure for that. Okay.
So the structure is actually already there for what we already do. The AI would actually be sending us back to what we actually do and maybe be a little bit more specific to the areas that we need. So in essence to your question, we're not using AI to the degree that we eventually will, because everybody will, but it's more that coaches actually understand the requirements and the needs of individual players.
Okay.
AI would actually do it for you, you know. So sometimes you'd actually say there's the I, which is obviously experienced coaches understanding what needs to be done.
Sir, my question is regarding whether algorithm can be a coach.
Algorithm can be. Yeah.
Of course it will, definitely will, because it will highlight the areas that the coach needs to be able to define. The problem with that is, does the coach in the first place understand what they need? So it comes both ways. You know, technology is fantastic, any technology, and we need to embrace it. But there's an element where a digital program will not make that footballer score more goals.
Coaching is a social phenomena. Please understand. So coaching cannot be done by an algorithm. You have to have a person there who is doing, it's a two-way methodology. It's a single, maybe in a sport like chess, maybe there can be a algorithm to coach. But in a lot of other sports, a physical presence is required because it's a social phenomenon. Okay, that's what I think.
Adding to this, AI cannot coach because definitely it is an individualist program. It is an individualist program. All physiology differ from one athlete to another, one player to another. So coaches are definitely looking into the physiology, psychological parameters of the players, and definitely they are making a program that is suiting for the athlete or the player for that day, so that they can execute to their extent. They can execute into to the extent up to their potentials. So AI, I think even suppose I'm a 400 meter coach, I'm looking after the 400 meters for the national team. Let me explain one more thing. When I put it in the chat GPT, what is the program for a 400 meters athlete? Definitely it will elaborate all the parameters which is definitely required for an athlete. But how to generate to an athlete, whether he is having a strength oriented athlete or a speed oriented athlete or an endurance oriented athlete, it is definitely will not help in the coaching parameters. Thank you.
Hello, sir. My name is Sachin. I have a question. What about originating a coaching license with a mandatory renewal policy?
The question to whom?
Anyone can answer.
Sir, I think Garg sir can answer this.
Say again, please.
Sir, coaching license with a mandatory renewal policy. Every coach in India must be a licensed coach and he have to renew in periodically. With 2 years or 4 years, he have to update himself. That renews his license.
See, each national sports federation has got its own coaching framework and own coaching policy. What is applicable in football may not be applicable in athletics or other sports. So this should be the responsibility and the prerogative of the national federation to lay out the periodicity and when the certificate should be renewed.
Can we legalize it?
Legalize it. For that there has to be an act. There has to be an act by the government. And because sports is a state subject, that's why states, there is a slight, it is not laid out anywhere as such. Internationally also, the licenses renewal or the periodicity of the license is as laid down by the international federation. So everybody follows that everywhere. However, there can be a coach registration thing. Many countries like Canada and Australia, they have coach licensing from as a central thing. So maybe one fine day we can have it in our country also.
Yeah. So he's answered that very well. And he's mentioned Australia. I had 14 years in Australia working with the FFA, so Football Federation of Australia. 2000, so not that many years ago, that whole structure changed. Australia themselves were in Oceania, and of course now they're in AFC, so they're part of Asia. Now, as soon as they moved across from Oceania, all the AFC badges had to change as well, because the coaches, especially at the higher level, definitely needed to have the same qualification. So everything now is worked on CPD. CPD, which I might have touched on up there, is called Continued Development Profession. And basically, the continued development as a professional is actually to be able to do a few different sessions in different venues, different opportunities, and those points go towards being CPD qualified. So once you've done the qualification, you will not lose it, providing that you keep up to date over a 3-year or 4-year period, depending on the scale of the license. So that is actually a good method, not having to pay extra money to go to do the course again, but more about just gaining extra experience and even networking with other coaches that are coming on the same opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question due to time constraint.
Okay, thank you. I am Dr. Mohammed Ali. I am a qualified football coach from NAS Patiala in the year of 1988. But my question to you, sir, after that course, I have not got any refresher course from NAS in football. But I got C license and D license from AFF. But the coaches education system is in the beginning stage in India. My opinion. Sports is clearly mentioned about the importance of coaches education from the grassroots level. So the government should take necessary steps to control the system. We have YouTube coaches here. In Kerala, there are so many YouTube coaches. They are downloading the YouTube videos and giving coaching, and there is no authority for controlling them or assessing them, and their system is failure. So it is the need of our. We have to introduce coaches education from the beginning. NAS should conduct refresher courses for the entire coaches they produced.
Yes, definitely.
I can answer. See, in India, there is a certificate course, 6-week certificate course, which starts the basic coach education, some kind of a certification you have by doing that course that you can undertake coaching. Thereafter, it is the NIS diploma. I agree that there were refresher courses were not there for a certain period. But just now, we are undergoing a refresher course. As we speak, there are about 300 coaches from all over the Sports Authority of India coaches, and whosoever else can join. A refresher course is going on. And we are really seized of this requirement that coach development is the backbone of enhancing sporting performance in the country. There is no doubt that coach development has to be much more, and there are a lot of thought processes are already going on. If you would have seen in NIS last year we started a new course for performance analytics. So, and the second year of performance analytics course is going on. So like that, slowly, there is a considerable, push to start more and more courses, and more. You will see a sea change slowly. Also, the university system of this country should take on sports coaching and exercise science as a major course. Just now, very few universities are doing it. Symbiosis is one which comes in mind. Some others are also doing. So, like in UK, there are about almost all universities have 4 years or 3 years, BSc in sports coaching and exercise science. Then they have a master's in sports coaching. Similarly, it will take on in this country also, because it is the need of the hour. So I am sure it will be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Anyway, we are winding up the session, and I thank all the panelists for giving their valuable suggestions and presenting the wonderful PPT presentations for the subject. And definitely, this encourages all coaches in India, and definitely we will look forward for more coaches educations. The coaches should be educated properly. Coaches has to be technologically sound. Coaches should be trained in all areas pertaining to the technology, so that they can implement more technologies towards the coaching educations and coaching. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot for this wonderful session. Thanks to one and all. Request Muralidharan sir to take over.
Anyway, we are coming to end of this session, and we have one more session in this stage. And I convey my gratitude to all the all the delegates from India and abroad for their wonderful presentations and their interactions with the public. Now it is time for memento presentation. So I invite strong and enthusiastic personality, Ms. K.C. Lega, standing committee member and world boxing champion, to hand over the memento to our renowned delegates. First I invite Commodore Pushpendra Kumar Garg, please. I invite Raj Mohan sir, please. Raj Mohan sir, our moderator of this session. Next I invite Michael Gonzalez and Alexander. Please. And last not least, Paul Wasney from UK. Thank you, Lega madam. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for this session on the topic Train the Trainers. വേദിയിലിരിക്കുന്ന വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥികൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് ട്രെയിൻ ദ ട്രെയിനേഴ്സ് എന്ന സെഷൻ വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഉള്ള സമയമായിരിക്കുകയാണ്. Once again, heartfelt gratitude to each one of our esteemed guests for your perspectives and your contributions to the topic Train the Trainers, and definitely your understanding, your discussions on the topic has made even more depth to our understanding to the topic Train the Trainers. So once again, heartfelt gratitude to each of our distinguished guests for that amazing session. So once again, we all are witnessing the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, extending from the January 23rd to January 26, 2024. So as we all know, we all have gathered here to celebrate the spirit of sportsmanship, the spirit of unity, and also the global impact of athletics. So throughout these 3 days, we all have indulged in a lot of insightful discussions, a lot of conferences, a lot of conversations and whatnot. So this all definitely proves that it is not just about the games that we play, but about these kind of shared memories and experiences that make sports even more a powerful force in our country. So once again, it is our pleasure welcoming each and everyone to the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024.
ഹാളിനുള്ളിൽ പുറകിലിരിക്കുന്നവർ മുന്നിലുള്ള റൗണ്ട് ടേബിളിൽ ഒഴിവുള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ വന്നിരിക്കണമെന്ന് അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. പുറകിൽ കസേരയിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്നവർ ഉൾപ്പെടെ മുൻപിൽ ഒഴിവുള്ള റൗണ്ട് ടേബിളിൽ വന്ന് ഇരിക്കണമെന്ന് വിനീതമായി അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്.
So as sir already mentioned, once again requesting those who are sitting at the back side to please consider moving forward and filling out and occupying the vacant chairs and round tables in the front row. ഹാളിന്റെ ബാക്ക് സൈഡിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്നവർക്കുള്ള ഒരു ശ്രദ്ധയ്ക്കായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അനൗൺസ്മെന്റ് ആണ്. പ്ലീസ് കൺസിഡർ മൂവിംഗ് ഫോർവേഡ് ആൻഡ് ഫില്ലിംഗ് ഔട്ട് ദ വേക്കന്റ് ചെയർസ് ആൻഡ് റൗണ്ട് ടേബിൾസ് ഇൻ ദ ഫ്രണ്ട് റോ. So once again, requesting everyone in the hall to please be settled down and be comfortable. We can still see so many of the delegates standing there at the back. So ഹാളിലുള്ള എല്ലാവരോടും സെറ്റിൽ ഡൗൺ ആവണമെന്ന് അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. ആൻഡ് ബാക്ക് സൈഡിൽ സീറ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർ ഡെലിഗേറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാവരും ഫ്രണ്ട് റോയിലുള്ള വേക്കന്റ് ചെയർസ് ആൻഡ് റൗണ്ട് ടേബിൾ ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യണമെന്നും അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയാണ്. So we are good to start with the next session for the day. So once again requesting everyone to please be settled down and be comfortable. Our dignitaries and our esteemed guests are here. So we are good to start with the next session for the day. Okay, so next on the stage we are going to have the session on media broadcast, streaming and sports. For that, first of all, I would love to welcome Sri V. Abdur Rahman Sir, Honorable Minister for Sports, and he will be chairing the session on media broadcast, streaming and sports. Welcoming you, sir. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു ശ്രീ സുഭാഷ് IAS, Director PRD. Welcoming Sri Subhash IAS, Director PRD. He will be the moderator for the session, media broadcast, streaming and sports. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് വേദിയിലേക്ക് ഹാർദവമായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു ശ്രീ അങ്കത് വാലിയ MD ക്രിയേറ്റേഴ്സ്. ശ്രീ അങ്കത് വാലിയ MD ക്രിയേറ്റേഴ്സ്. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ശ്രീ വിപിൻ നമ്പ്യാർ MD and founder Emute Sports. ശ്രീ വിപിൻ നമ്പ്യാർ MD and founder Emute Sportsനെ വേദിയിലേക്ക് ഹാർദവമായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ശ്രീ ഹബീബ് കോയ, ചെയർമാൻ ആൻഡ് MD RBS Corporation and HK Group of Company. വേദിയിലേക്ക് അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ഹാർദവമായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു ശ്രീ ഹബീബ് കോയ, ചെയർമാൻ ആൻഡ് MD RBS Corporation and HK Group of Company. Welcoming onto the stage. Next, I would love to invite Sri Sudhir SS, President DSC Thiruvananthapuram. He will be the session leader. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് ശ്രീ സുധീർ SS, President DSC തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തിന് വേദിയിലേക്ക് ഹാർദവമായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. Next, I would love to invite Dr. Binoy K, Associate Professor and HOD, Government Arts and Science College, Calicut, as a session coordinator for the session Media, Broadcast, Streaming and Sports. So once again, it is my pleasure to welcome all our esteemed guests on this stage. So നമ്മളുടെ സെഷൻ ആയ മീഡിയ ബ്രോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ്, സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് ആൻഡ് സ്പോർട്സിലോട്ട് കടക്കുന്നതിന് മുൻപോടിയായിട്ട് വളരെ സ്പെഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മൊമെന്റ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ വേദിയിൽ അടുത്തതായിട്ട് വിറ്റ്നസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. വി ഓൾ നോ അബൌട്ട് iCore Business Solutions. The iCore Business Solutions has been come up with a digital platform which compile entire components of Kerala sports. Kerala sportsനെ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു ഡിജിറ്റൽ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുകയാണ് the iCore Business Solutions. So next we are going to witness that special moment of unveiling of the digital platform of iCore Business Solutions. അതിനായിട്ട് Honorable Minister of Sports Sri Abdur Rahman Sirനെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാണ്. And also we have the entire team of iCore Business Solutions also here. കേരള സ്പോർട്സിനെ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഡിജിറ്റൽ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുകയാണ് iCore Business Solution. The unveiling of the digital platform ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ വേദിയിൽ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. എല്ലാവരും വലിയൊരു കൈയ്യടി നൽകണം because this is pretty huge. Our Honorable Minister for Sports, Sri Abdur Rahman Sir, ആണ് unveil ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So we are witnessing the digital platform of iCode Business Solution here on the screen. This is a very special moment which is happening here on the stage, and we all are witnessing the unveiling of the digital platform that has included and compiled the entire components of Kerala sports by the iCode Business Solutions. Our Honorable Minister of Sports, Sri V.K. Abdur Rahman Sir, ആണ് unveiling നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ witness ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഈ വേദിയിൽ. So this is the digital platform by the iCode Solutions we are witnessing there on the screen. Thank you so much, and എല്ലാവരോടും ഒരു വലിയ കയ്യടിയും കൂടെ റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ് because just now we saw a special moment unveiling the digital platform that has included the entire components of Kerala sports by Honorable Minister of Sports Sri Abdur Rahman Sir. So next, handing over the session on media, broadcast, streaming and sports to a session coordinator Binoy K. So handing over the session to Dr. Binoy K.
Good evening. Respected V. Abdur Rahman, Minister for Sports, Waqf and Hajj Pilgrims, Government of Kerala, and Sri Subhash IAS, Director, Information Public Relation Department, Registrar of Cooperative Society, Government of Kerala, and Sri Angit Walia, Founder CEO, Creator Marketing Solution Private Limited, Investor Trader. Then Sri Vibhin Nambiar, Managing Director, Founder, Emer Sports Mumbai, and Sri Habib Koya, Chairman and Marketing Director, Managing Director, RBS Corporation and HK Group of Company, along with Sri Sudhir SS, President, District Sports Council Trivandrum, and all the dignitaries on and off the dais. Now, we reach the last session of the 4-day International Sports Summit Kerala, and we reach the most important and vital aspect of sports, that's the media. As you know, that media is the fourth pillar of our democracy, as that legislature, executive and judiciary, and after that the media. Now, media act as a powerful amplifier for sports, providing a platform for exposure, revenue generation, and fan engagement. Conversely, the popularity and compelling narrativeness of sports contribute significantly to the content offering and viewerships of various media outlets. The interconnectedness of media and sports continues to evolve with technological advancements and emerging consumer preferences. Let me come to my duty. First of all, I welcome our beloved Sports Minister Sri V. Abdurrahman to this section, who is chairing this section. Sir, welcome you, sir. Also, I welcome Sri Subhash IAS, Director, Public Information Department, Government of Kerala, to moderator of this section. I welcome you, sir. Now I welcome Sri Ankit Walia, Founder CEO, Creator Marketing Solutions Private Limited, and investor trader who have globally offices to this function. Welcome you, sir. Now I welcome Sri Vipin Nambiar, MD, Founder, Emer Sports, Mumbai. Also I welcome Sri Habib Koya, Chairman and Managing Director, RBS Corporation and HK Group of Company. Welcome you, sir. But not least, I welcome Sri Sudhir SS, President, District Sports Council, Trivandrum, who is the session leader. Last but not least, I welcome all who gathered here to this last function of 4-day International Sports Summit, Kerala. Now I request Sri Subhash IAS to take the charge of the session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Binoy. Before I go to my detailed introduction of the topic, may I invite Minister for Sports, Mr. V. Abdul Rahman, for giving his remarks on the topic. Sir, may I invite you?
Good evening for you all. ഈ അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര സ്പോർട്സ് ഉച്ചകോടിയുടെ സമാപനത്തിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ കടക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ബ്രോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ്, മീഡിയ ആൻഡ് സ്പോർട്സ്. ദിസ് ഇസ് ദ സബ്ജക്ട് ഫോർ ഓൺ ദിസ് സെക്ഷൻ. ഈ ആഗോള സ്പോർട്സ് വളർച്ചയിൽ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു ഘടകമാണ് മീഡിയ എന്നത് പുതിയ ലോകം തെളിയിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞതാണ്. ഒരു ടെലിവിഷൻ ഉൽപ്പന്നമായി സ്പോർട്സ് മാറുമ്പോഴാണ് അതിന് ആഗോള സ്വീകാര്യത ലഭ്യമാകുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ ലീഗുകളാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഉദാഹരണങ്ങൾ. ഇന്ത്യയിലെ സ്പോർട്സിന് അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ലീഗ് മത്സരങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ വളർച്ചയ്ക്ക് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ സഹായിച്ചത് ടെലിവിഷൻ മീഡിയകളാണ്. ലോകത്തിലെ പ്രധാന മത്സരങ്ങളുടെ കണക്കെടുത്താൽ in international level, football is 3.5 billion viewers in football. Cricket is second one, 2.5 billion. And hockey, 2 billion. Tennis, 1 billion. This is a ratio. അപ്പം എങ്ങനെയാണ് മീഡിയ സ്പോർട്സിൽ അതിൻ്റെ സ്വാധീനം ചെലുത്തുന്നതെന്ന് നമുക്കിതിലൂടെ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയും. ഇപ്പോൾ ഓൺലൈൻ മാധ്യമങ്ങൾ സജീവമായതോടുകൂടി തന്നെ സ്ട്രീമിങ്ങിനും വളരെ പ്രാധാന്യം വർദ്ധിച്ചിരിക്കുകയാണ്. കായിക മത്സരങ്ങൾ ഓൺലൈൻ സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ പ്രത്യേകത. ഇതൻ പ്രാദേശിക മത്സരങ്ങൾ പോലും ആ സ്ട്രീമിങ്ങിൽ വലിയ പ്രചാരം ലഭിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപോകേണ്ടത്. ഇൻ കേരള, നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്തിലെ മാധ്യമങ്ങളും കായിക പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്ക് വലിയ പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് സന്തോഷം നൽകുന്ന കാര്യമാണ്. വർഷങ്ങളായി നമ്മുടെ കായിക മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തനം ഏറ്റവും നല്ല രീതിയിൽ തന്നെ തുടർന്നു വരുന്നതാണ്. ഒട്ടേറെ കായിക മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തകരെ രാജ്യത്തിന് സംഭാവന ചെയ്യാൻ നമുക്ക് കഴിയുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം കൂടി ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ ഓർക്കുകയാണ്. കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ള സ്പോർട്സ് ലേഖകന്മാർ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ ഏറ്റവും മികച്ച സ്പോർട്സ് ലേഖകന്മാരായി അറിയപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ട്. നവമാധ്യമങ്ങളുടെ കാലത്തും ഇതേ സ്ഥിതി തുടരുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഏറ്റവും ആശ്വാസകരമായ എന്നുള്ളത്. മാധ്യമരംഗത്തെ ആഗോള പ്രവണതകൾ ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നതാണ്. ഈ സെഷനിൽ അതാണ് നമ്മൾ പ്രധാനമായും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് നമ്മുടെ കായിക മേഖലയ്ക്ക് ഏറ്റവും ഊർജം പകരുന്ന ഒന്നായി തന്നെ മാറേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തനത്തിന് വലിയ ഉൾക്കാഴ്ച നൽകാൻ അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ കേരളം കായിക രംഗത്ത് പുതിയൊരു കുതിപ്പിന് തയ്യാറെടുക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ വളരെ പ്രാധാന്യത്തോടുകൂടി പരിഗണിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം കൂടി ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് വിശദമായ ചർച്ചയിലേക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ കടക്കുകയാണ്. അടുത്ത ഈ സെഷനോട് കൂടി നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര സ്പോർട്സ് സമിതി അവിടെ അവസാനിക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഏറ്റവും പ്രാധാന്യമേറിയ ഈ സെഷനിൽ ഇവിടെ എത്തിയുള്ള എല്ലാ പാനലിലുള്ള എല്ലാ പ്രവർത്തകർക്കും മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകർ അടക്കമുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ അർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം ഇന്ന് ഈ സെഷനിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഈ മേഖലയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന അവർക്കും അഭിവാദ്യം അർപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നു. ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential address. As Minister has rightly pointed out, this topic of media, broadcast, streaming and sports. We have a great tradition of media broadcast. First of all, we have this tradition of radio was the first medium which was telecasting sports events. I remember my childhood when Santosh Trophy was being organized, Kerala versus Railways, which was the match still I remember the broadcasting, my first broadcasting experience. If you look at the trajectory of broadcasting and streaming of sports, first of all we can see the traditional broadcasting channels like ESPN, BBC, Fox Sports, and now we have moved from traditional broadcasting to the streaming services, very prominently ESPN, Amazon Prime, and we have moved from it to the OTT platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus. And recently we have started integrating these platforms into the social media platforms like FB, Twitter and YouTube channels. The integration of social media with VR, AR and artificial intelligence, which is giving an immersion experience to us for viewing, giving personalized experience, etc. And we get a personalized content and the fans can get engaged into this. This event, as rightly pointed out by Minister, there are two basic objectives for the organizers for conducting this vast, great event in Kerala. First is sports is not just an act of the participants who are actively involved in the sports, and media is not just for the viewers, but the concept of wellness, the concept of health, the concept of health has transformed drastically after the advent of COVID. Our attitude towards wealth and wellness, it has moved towards wellness rather than acquiring just wealth. Basically, COVID has taught us that wealth will never help you when you face crisis. So people have started spending more on their wellness, their health and their fitness. And so the sports industry in Kerala, or in India in general and Kerala in particular, will have to focus on accommodating and to become inclusive of all individuals, whether they are differently challenged or they are aged. So sports has become an arena of an inclusive arena where everyone can participate. So it is a democratic exercise in the broad sense of the word, that you include everyone. And the second thing is, Kerala has never conceived sports as an economy. So sports is an economy, culture is an economy, and sports create an arena where a lot of activities can take place, where investors can take part. So media sponsorship of the sports events has a significant role to play, and all the tools as that I mentioned, the streaming, broadcasting, whichever tool you use, but the emerging economy of Kerala will give a lot of scope for all these tools, and viewers will get a better experience, personal experience, and integration of AR and VR, which gives with the 5G integration, high quality live experience for the people. Another area that I would like to mention is the convergence and partnership. There is immense potentiality for convergence and partnership for different departments, different stakeholders, whether they are from the industry, whether from the media, whether from the government service, whether from the cooperatives. The cooperatives, I am also a registrar of cooperatives. We already started constructing coaching program, coaching centers, turf. Then there are institutions, cooperative institutions providing space for training young people. So basically, this landscape of media has and the landscape of investment in sports has changed drastically in the last few years. With this few opening remarks, I would like to invite Mr. Habib Koya, Chairman Managing Director, RBS Corporation and SK Group Companies, to give his views on media streaming and sports. Mr. Habib Koya, please come.
Very warm good evening to everyone. It's very unfair. From the few days, Honorable Minister is putting a lot of efforts without sleeping, without sitting at one place, and I'm giving you a very warm good evening, and I'm not even getting a right answer. Very warm good evening to everybody. Yes. Can I request, because first of all I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. As the Honorable Minister said, it's going to be a last session and it have to be colorful. And the subject what I'm going to discuss is broadcasting and streaming. So when this particular event will be broadcast, do you think this will be empty chairs will be looking good? Because end of the day is a broadcasting. So I would like to request whoever respect Honorable Minister and would like to gratitude for his great effort, everybody from the backside should get up from there and then come to the front. If you respect and if you love Minister, you should come. You should get up, everybody, yes. Everybody come to the front, on the near to the tea counter. I know this is a very power nap time. It's a very katan chaya's time. Katan chaya and tea, milk tea will get. But after this session, you will definitely will get. But all of you have to come in the front. So it will be filled. And when they do a broadcasting, it will look like a fantastic stadium and a great closing session. You agree with that? So give a big round of applause for Honorable Minister, because conducting this event, it's a remarkable event. It's in the history of Kerala. Probably nobody have done so far. May God give a healthy long life to our honorable minister. And then from the last 4 days, whatever is there in the pipeline, let it come in action. So give it a big round of applause for the honorable minister, please. Great. I won't take up much time because I'm not a media guy basically. From the last 26 to 28 years, I'm into brand development and I'm into the marketing. Yeah. So, but at the same time, when you think about a broadcasting and streaming, what's an important role it plays? Yeah. You just think about last 25 to 30 years back. And you think about today's media or today's streaming, how they do the broadcasting. Probably in my childhood, I remember when there was a World Cup. Probably when India got the World Cup, I was probably in a 4th or 5th standard, and we didn't have any of the TV anywhere probably, but entire our campus where we used to live, there was one small black and white TV where they used to broadcast. And today, a ball goes to the stump, everybody can see at the same time, right? See the changes, what it's been taken place. And today, many of them has asked a question in a couple of my previous session. We all spoke about football. We all spoke about cricket. So some of them asked me a question. Is this the only two things considered as a sports? Definitely not. So how a broadcast can play? It's definitely a revenue making business. It's generating money. It's end of the day is everyone who's broadcasting, it's in a bottom line for them. It's a top line for them. End of the day, between the top line and bottom line, when we think about it, we are ignoring few subjects. We are ignoring few sports. The sports, the coaches, many coaches are sitting over here. Many sports are there. They put all their efforts to make their kids very strong in a different sports area. But we stick with a few. I'm not saying that we should not do that, but we need to equally give a value to every sports, even if it's in a kabaddi, even if it is in a hockey, even if it's in a volleyball, anything, rugby, anything. We need to give a proper broadcasting and proper motivation for every sports basically. Today, are we broadcasting a small villages or a city or a district conducting the events or conducting the sports event? Are we doing that? No. Today, we are focused on the larger scale where a most number of people is watching. That is what the broadcasting companies or the media companies or Streamline will be looking up. How many people we can reach? What would be my reach towards my channel? What will be my revenue generating from the broadcasting, right? But at the same time, we have a social responsibility too, to develop. Today, how many medals is India winning in the Olympic? How many? Few? Gold? 1, 2, 3? We have to more. How do we do that? Giving an equal importance to every sports, and as a media probably, we have to ensure that we reach to every city and try to do a maximum broadcasting and try to maximum promote every sports which is our kids are playing today. They've been ignored. I was in the last session and some of them, they have raised their hands and asked that everybody is speaking about a sports city, or everybody is speaking about day before yesterday or yesterday in the investment meet, there was a couple of a stadium. The stadium for football, the stadium for cricket. What about the other sports? So there's another company which has been said that they are making something around in 100 acres of land, a complete sports city where every sports can be valued. Yeah, I'm just coming back to my subject. Every sports have a value. Every sports have a value. Because why it is have a value? Today, if there is no coaches who are sitting over here today, do you think that Mr. Vineet will be here, Vineet C will be there? Do you think that Mr. Rafi will be there? No, this is all their effort. So we have to give a round of applause to them, the coaches who are sitting across the Kerala here. Yeah? So would like to conclude in a few minutes saying that the broadcasting, a value of that. Definitely we should not look everywhere money. There could be probably a single boy who would be very talented probably in one particular game. Are we promoting him? Do we take his interview? No, we did not. We are not interested to do that. Why we are not interested to do that one? Because my bottom line or my profitability is not in that particular this one. But today, we have been improved. As we said before, when we have to watch, we used to go to watch one of the house sitting everybody and watching the match probably, right? Or probably we'll go to our panchayat. Panchayat would have kept a black and white small TV and we would be looking up. Today it is not that case. Today Facebook, today Instagram, today every social media have a possibility to promote. Right? The social media have a promotion can be done. Its streaming can be done in everywhere. It is not an everywhere. There's a lot of channels which is there, social channels which is there. There's the media channels which is there, which is not on a big scale, which is not on probably a national or international channels for sports. But if we are able to take a one step ahead, everyone is decided to take a one step ahead. Trust me, I'm 100% sure that the day will be not far that India will be winning more than 25 to 30 medals very soon because this kind of a coach has been promoted. So we have to definitely do that one. So we have to think how we can support or how we can encourage a broadcasting. I'm very sure that I was just walking across the gallery and I was seeing that our honorable minister is giving an interview and he was talking about this subject that he is going to work, especially going to create a team for a broadcasting monitoring basically. That is something very good. So sports has gone extra miles in the state of Kerala when it comes to games. Yes, we Keralites are very spirit. We have a very energy to talk about the sports, and especially when it comes to football, it's like like a state game for us. Many people are very enthusiastic when we see a lot of fan clubs or anything. Through this also, again, broadcast plays a big role in our sports industry. So I would like to conclude over here that let us put our all of effort, let us support each one of us over here in this hall and say that yes, broadcasts have to be having a proper standard, proper policy, proper procedure. It could be probably creating a system for that. There should be an SOP for that one, that broadcasts have to be done in particular manner. There should be given an importance for every sports which is we are promoting over here. Then there is a possibility that the broadcasting can be very successful and state of Kerala will have definitely more gold medals coming to Kerala itself. I'm very sure about it. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity. We as a relaxed business solution company, we are an international collaborating partner for international sports companies to collaborate with the state government of Kerala. We'll definitely would look into that. When we are doing anything, definitely we will consider that broadcasting and streaming is most important, and we will ensure that it has been done in a proper way. Thank you very much once again. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Habib Koya. Habib was giving a very electrifying and motivational speech. Basically, the diversity, the vast and richness of our sporting experience, and let more gold medals come in the coming international events to Kerala. Let this event give a motivation from his speeches and from the motivation from the event, that more gold medals to come to the state. We have with us Mr. Rangat Walia, a young entrepreneur from Maharashtra. He is running a lot of business internationally in in Europe, in America, and in India. His interest, he will be speaking today, in the area where he has a lot of interest: sports, event management, and industry. I invite Mr. Ankit Walia to give his remarks.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank Kerala Sports Summit to invite me here, Honorable Minister, and happy 75th Republic Day. My name is Angat Walia and I am from Himachal basically, but I am staying in Chandigarh. From the starting, I was not belong to a sports person or an event manager, but I was a cabin crew. Then I left my job and I decided to do something my own. From the college time, I was like a martial art player. Then I decided to do something in sports. When I left my job, I remember it was 2009 and my parents was like, this is what you want to become. Now why you want to leave the job and want to do something that you don't know? I said, just give me, some time to prove myself. So Creators is my company who does sports events globally. We get the investors, sponsors, and all the facilities, infra that my people want. If we talk about media, as my friend told about the media, so media plays a main role on the promotion, marketing sports. The media can reach a large audience and promote sports even in the sponsors through a various platform such as telephone, radio, air, print, online media, on-away media. It's the same like broadcast. The broadcast is just like a streaming actually one-to-one delivery to the video content, broadcasting, providing the signal that goes to the everyone, that you don't need another signal to provide videos. Broadcasting also happen in audio, where all the listeners says one signal generate the income. If we talk about the national sports, that people think that okay, everyone talk about the leagues, and they want to start the leagues, they want to start something, do any sports, but the investors, as an investor or as a sponsor, they just want to see that what is the main intention they want to do. Imagine if we are taking 100 rupees from someone and we are giving them ROI 1000 rupees, that we need to tell them that how in the sports business, this is what we do. This is how we get the sponsor for our leagues. And finally, I just want to ensure that we will try our level best to give this Kerala visit a good thing in future. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. Ankit, he's organizing more sports events, let it happen. And then he was also discussing about the investors' portfolio. As I have mentioned in the beginning itself, the organizers' priorities while they discuss about this event was to create a platform for sports investment in Kerala. That it can be in terms of creating more infrastructure in the sports arena, creating more events. Minister was discussing about bringing international personalities to Kerala and organize international tournaments, and finally to bring international sports person as part of our sports arena. Primarily, the purpose of another purpose I have already mentioned was to create the message, to share the message to the entire people that sports for all. We have another young entrepreneur from India, Sri Vibin Nambiar. He is originally from Kerala, but his business is based in Mumbai. He is wished to speak on emerging sports, sports sponsorship, community engagement, and marketing innovation. I would like to invite Mr. Vibin Nambiar to discuss the past, present, and future of live streaming.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, ISSK, to give me an opportunity to be present here and share my opinions about the media broadcasting and live streaming. I have a bit bad throat, so excuse me for my feeble voice. So to start with, I think live streaming is not a new age phenomenon. It's been there from the maybe last 2-3 decades, or maybe 4 decades, because Kerala has been a greatest consumer, or maybe the largest or biggest consumer of sports consumption. Ever since 70s or 80s, we could see, our fathers and forefathers used to consume world of football before even became, cricket so popular in India, right? So I still remember being a 6-year or 7-year-old kid, going with my dad to watch a, World Cup football final between West Germany and Argentina, where Argentina lost the finals. That was the power of live streaming, that was there in the past, right? So Maradonas and Peles have become household names right from maybe the 70s and 80s in Kerala, or maybe in a similar scene in West Bengal, right? So what I wanted to say here is there is an evolution of live streaming that was there initially. The last 10 years have been significantly different, and there'll be a future also. The consumption pattern might have changed, but the live streaming or maybe the consumption of the sport would remain as emotional as it could be, right? So the patterns like where there used to be one color television and the whole family used to watch together, or the entire club or maybe a football club coming into the club and watching football may be different, but it might have moved to single screens, handheld devices, or maybe 4 different patterns of watching in a single house between the dad and mom, or maybe the kids following sports, right? So I think the pattern or the emotion towards sports remains the same, but the way we used to consume content would be different, going forward. So I think in the past, 2 mediums that played a significant role in reaching out sports to our homes. One being the TV, which was rare or limited in those era. But, maybe the print medium played a significant role in giving that much needed amplification of sport, world of sport coming to our household is the print medium. Because we have had beautiful journalists who covered the sports like nobody else. We were the most passionate fans in the world in terms of consumption of sports ever since, right? So I think print medium played a very large role in almost getting live news coverage the next day to our bedrooms and our drawing rooms. So we read news from even though we missed the match or we couldn't watch the match live, we almost consumed the content as through reading as we visualized the live telecast. That was the power of print medium then. So and that was the past. If it is current and the future, it's about what should I say? It's about the last 10 years of advent of OTT has kind of generalized live telecasting, right? Anybody, a local match in, let's say, Kadavantra or maybe Trivandrum can be live telecasted on a YouTube and can have a smaller audience, right? Otherwise, what happens inside stadium, what happens, or maybe, spectated by maybe 50,000 people, it would contain to that particular audience. Live streaming helps to, reach out to another 5 crore people. That's a success of IPL as a sport. Why IPL is such a successful, commercial property in the world, or maybe the costliest sporting property. Maybe, it is almost reaching to the tune of English Premier League, right? So why is it so successful and, gaining tons and tons of money? Recently Tata has renewed the deal of being the title sponsorship of IPL, is for the fact that it reaches a wide, large audience day in, day out, continuously for 45 days, right? So when, let's say, a salesperson or maybe a sponsorship guy of a Mumbai Indians go to, let's say, advertisers or brands, he doesn't sell IPL from a stadium per se or a stadium, he doesn't restrict himself to a kind of a live telecast, live match that happens inside the stadium. He goes and says that I can give you or offer you 100 crore audience in 50 days or maybe 100 days cumulatively. Hence, you take the sleeve or the helmet or the stumps or the logo on the chest. That's how the selling has been in the last 10 years, or, could even evolve that I can give you far more solutions to, back up your advertising needs or brand objectives. So that's the trend that has been, prevailing in the last 10 years. So there are three large contributors of revenue from any commercial success of a sporting opportunity point of view. One is the sponsorship, which is the largest. The second one being the ticketing, which is the smallest in terms of the revenue which has been garnered by sporting events. The third is how do you broadcast it, and the license has been given to media houses like Star Sports or Jio Cinemas and reach out to the next 100 crore audience, right? So I think the biggest fan following factor, if you see, Kerala has been up there, because when Argentina won, Argentina Football Federation or Messi for that matter, did not thank India, they thanked Kerala, the fans of Kerala. So that's the power of, fan following what we have in Kerala. And that's the reason also that Kerala Blasters is one of the largest online communities, maybe after Barcelona, That's the power, of the cumulative audience we have. I think it's time to leverage this audience at one end, because what brands need, if you need to understand, through live TV or through, sponsorship opportunity inside the stadium, the perimeters, boards, etc., what brands need is a quality audience, right? They need to sell their products. They need to consume, or rather, disseminate their advertising to the right audience. So I think, be it football or cricket or any sport, kabaddi or maybe let's say basketball, the loyal audience toward the sport is what the brands are looking for. I think it's time to leverage the audience we have in Kerala. So, in sports marketing parlance, we have, if it ain't live, it ain't sports. If it is not live streamed or it's not there on the live TV, it is not sports. I think the success of all the leagues, as just now Minister said, and a couple of other people shared the opinion, is I think we need to leverage live streaming to such an extent that it reaches to the right quality audience, and at the same time the advertisers or the brands who are sponsoring the event gets benefited. I think we are at the inflection point wherein, if you see the last 10 years, we've seen the, exploration of OTT platforms. The future may be AI. I think advertisers through sports would be targeting a specific, a person to sell his car or to sell his soap or to sell his TV. So I think, in terms of reaching out to the audience, live streaming would play a very larger role, just like the people inside the stadium. So, in the last IPL, maybe 2023 IPL, the biggest decision BCCI had taken is to divide the broadcasting rights into two large segments. One is the digital viewing, one is the TV viewing, the linear TV viewing, wherein, the rights have been kind of given to two media houses. The TV rights went to Star Sports, and the digital rights went to Jio Cinema, which is Sports 18, right? So what happened in that event is BCCI suddenly has got 200 more advertisers through Jio Cinemas. When the TV part of it is one of the largest or maybe the costliest advertising unit during the summers, wherein only the Cokes and the Pepsis and the Tatas and Birlas could afford, wherein through Jio Cinemas what happened is like a small shop owner or a brand from Kochi or a Calicut or Trivandrum or Kollam could also advertise by geo-targeting. So that was the power of the OTT, or maybe, to the extent that he can geo-target the right audience or maybe the right geographical audience, he or she needs to target and, sell their products. So that was the, significant approach we have taken to kind of, how did we sell media broadcasts, right? So I think it's pertinent point that we have a satisfying commercial plans to substantiate the live streaming. I think the not so successful league formats, which was Badminton Premier League or maybe the Table Tennis Premier League, which failed in the second year. It's not because that they didn't have live TV, but the model did not garner success for them or scale up revenues. But on the other hand, volleyball, the professional volleyball league, which was fairly successful because the model really helped to target the audience, maybe large audience like the fan following audience or maybe the audience from Kerala point of view or Tamil Nadu point of view, where volleyball has been very popular. So I think, in order to, create successful models in sports, it's conducting a league is not just a solution or the answer, but somewhere it has to identify where my audience lies, where my core market or the fan following lies. Volleyball, when they invented Volleyball Premier League, they chose, couple of markets to conduct the event or, which are my stadiums in terms of I need to go and, conduct my matches. And at the same time, identified a channel where it is applicable to all. So, in a nutshell, audience or fans do not follow a certain channel or certain medium. They follow the sport. I mean, we don't need to tell the, Indian fans of Chelsea or a Man U or a Man City to watch their matches during the weekend. They will eventually find their channels and, they'll flock in front of the TV and watch their matches very passionately. That's the reason why F1 exited India market, because the channels are not making money because the audience is kind of getting reduced in terms of number in India. The format may change or maybe the league style may change or the perception of content consumption may change, but live streaming is going to be sustaining for the next 20-30 years. Maybe AI can come and make it more customizable, or the content we consume is more preferred from an individualistic point of view, but live streaming is going to sustain, and communal watching will also be playing a very large role. With that, I can safely say that we are entering into a beautiful decade, maybe in the next 10 years, a beautiful phase of any league or world of football or FIFA or ICC matches, etc. I think we are entering into a beautiful phase of sports, and I think Kerala would play a very large role in the content consumption for the same. Thank you all, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Vibin Nampia. He was narrating the trajectory of live streaming, past, present, future. Now it's open to the audience. We had three speakers, Mr. Habib Koya and Vibin Nampia and Angat Walia. If you have any specific questions to them, you can ask now. So,
Hello, this is addressed to Vibin Nampia.
It's a question to whom?
Vibin Nampia.
Okay, Vibin.
Sir, you described about the legacy, unlike the legacy linear streaming. Now we are witnessing a non-linear social media and real-time streaming. My question is regarding how you geotag the targeted branding, geotag in branding.
Geo-targeting is a very hardcore digital phenomenon. I mean, it's very easy. I think most probably all the brands will have their agencies to identify a certain section of society, audience. They can even filter it by the keywords. If you are a consumer of, let's say, football or a volleyball, you can be targeted with the content consumption patterns navigated through your social media channels. Like, if you are going to Insta and watch volleyball content, you are a potential customer of, volleyball content to be disseminated to you. So I think it's algorithms, it's, cookies and hundred other opportunities for media agencies, digital agencies, brands to tap the individual audience, geographies, and even characteristics of the audience they want to target.
How the AI can provide the customized content?
It's how do you, provide information to the social media, right? You have certain biographies being given when you start a social media account, right? So I think it's been filtered from there. So AI would be the future, it will still customize, but what I'm saying is maybe the live stream would happen on TV or maybe let's say on a Jio Cinemas. Rest of the mediums will be complementary or a supplementary mediums to the large scale live that happens. We will have dissections of various formats. Maybe, a 20-second highlights of the whole thing is maybe a 20-year-old would be watching, not the entire match.
So what is the scope of AR, VR and MR?
It will be huge, but AR, VR would not play that kind of a role, but AI would play a large kind of a role.
Okay.
Any questions? Anyone of you to add, would like to add any points to what you have spoken before? Any speakers? Any points to add? You?
Yeah, as my co-panelist said, definitely how the broadcast is going to be in future. There's a development which has been taking place from the last few years. So as sir very correctly said, probably, I don't know, the broadcast will automatically happen with an AI itself. So there won't be a necessity to somebody to sit in the room or anything. So, but we as probably a Keralites which would like to take the sports to the next level, then definitely we have to contribute. We have to contribute the change which has been taking place at this stage. We need to adapt the changes and we have to walk with the changes. We should not be left over backside. That's what I will request, change with the speed, change with the AI, bring the new things. As sir correctly said, as a Jio, it was like when the World Cup has been taken place, Jio was the one who has been broadcasting everything. So probably next World Cup, we never know what could be new coming. So I would only request that we should be prepared very well to take over the change, a quick change which can come across any time. Thank you.
I would like to add one more point. There was this news in today's media about Mammootty will be replaced by an AI avatar to be acted in a movie. I think that is not going to happen in the, in the sports arena because nobody can replace a player and score a goal, right? So I think, as he rightly said, the evolution would be, kept on happening. There would be something newer, things would keep coming back. But the sports is going to stay, the way we played sports would also be similar. But in terms of, the technology coming in the field of live streaming would change. AI may replace certain other things, but it's about the quality of sport that will keep us attracted toward the sport.
Any questions? So I thank all the speakers, Mr. Angit Walia, Mr. Vibin Nampia, Mr. Habib Koya. They have been expressing their views on the diverse areas under media streaming and broadcasting in sports. When I was in my initial speech, I mentioned about the sports economy and the cultural economies, the need for they both going together, and the context of post-COVID scenario, which transformed human concepts on health, well-being, happiness. I didn't mention happiness at that moment, and I would add one more point, that is happiness, bringing happiness as part of the entertainment industry, sports industry, and the related activities all together. In the recent past, the concept of happiness has increased a more momentum. We must be knowing about the story of Bhutan, where the national income is calculated not in terms of the income earned by the people, but by the happiness acquired by the entire population. So basically, we can also integrate the concept of happiness. And when we discuss about the sports infrastructure and sports live streaming, the technology used it should be green, and we can integrate the element of carbon neutrality into the concept of framing views on it. So if I conclude, the Kerala sports scenario, the media and streaming integration, streaming media with regional focus is vital for showcasing the diverse sports culture of the state. We have seen that traditional sports like boat race, local kabaddi events, are streamed in the local channels. There are some of the boat race, especially the Alapura event is streamed widely even in the international streaming channels. There is big scope. There is a huge scope for wider coverage in all the broadcasting streams in the future. So Kerala is looking for this new opportunity, new intent for these changed scenarios. I think this event, not just this exercise on media, broadcasting and streaming, but the entire summit on international sports in Kerala 2014 will give a new opportunity for the state to showcase its sports events, its sports investment opportunities, and it can transform Kerala into a hub of new sports events. And the youngsters in the state will be able to get more employment opportunities, and the investors can seek Kerala as a center of excellence for investing in the area of sports. I think this is that I wish to conclude. So entirely, I wish to thank every speakers, and basically the concept of sports will move on from fitness to wellness to health and for happiness of the entire population of the Kerala. Thank you very much.
Thus, we conclude the section. Now is the time for presenting mementos to the dignitaries. I call upon Sri Sudhir SS, President, District Sports Council, Trivandrum, to give away the mementos. Sir, please. First, I call upon Sri Subhash IAS, Director, Public Information Department, Government of Kerala, to collect the memento. Sir, please. Now I call upon Sri Ankit Walia.
everyone for this session. So, വേദിയിലിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥികൾക്കും വലിയൊരു നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സ്പോർട്സ് സമ്മിറ്റ് ഓഫ് കേരള 2024 അവസാനത്തെ സെഷൻ വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സമയമായിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അങ്ങനെ ജാനുവരി 23 ആരംഭം കുറിച്ച ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സ്പോർട്സ് സമ്മിറ്റ് ഓഫ് കേരള 2024 ഇന്നേക്ക് ജാനുവരി 26 റിപ്പബ്ലിക് ദിനത്തിൽ അന്ത്യം കുറിക്കേണ്ട സമയം എത്തിയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് ഡിസ്കഷൻസ്, ഒരുപാട് കോൺവെർസേഷൻസ്, ഒരുപാട് ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ, ഒരുപാട് ഉത്തരങ്ങളായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ സജീവമായിട്ട് പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നിങ്ങൾ ഓരോരുത്തരുടെയും സജീവ പങ്കാളിത്തത്തിന് ഒരുപാട് ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ നന്ദി ഈ ഒരു അവസരത്തിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ രേഖപ്പെടുത്താൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. സോ ലേഡീസ് ആൻഡ് ജെന്റിൽമെൻ, as we conclude the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, let us reflect on the enriching discussions and insights shared over the past few days. Definitely we have witnessed a lot of ideas and innovations in the realm of sports. So once again, we would love to extend our heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for your support and cooperation from the very start of this event to the very end of International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. And now it's time to quantify the output of International Sports Summit 2024. So for the winding up ceremony, we would love to welcome onto the stage our Honorable Minister for Sports, Sri V. Abdul Rahman sir, onto the stage please for the winding up ceremony. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് വേദിയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു സെക്രട്ടറി ഓഫ് സ്പോർട്സ് പ്രണബ് ജ്യോതിനാഥ് IAS. And also, I would love to welcome onto the stage Director Sports Rajiv Kumar Chowdhury onto the stage, sir. Next, I would love to invite the Sports Council President U. Sharafali onto the stage. അടുത്തതായിട്ട് വേദിയിലേക്ക് ഹാർദവമായിട്ട് സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു സ്പോർട്സ് കൗൺസിൽ വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് MR രഞ്ജിത്ത്. And also, along with all our esteemed guests, we would also love to have all our foreign guests also onto the stage. Welcoming all our foreign delegates also onto the stage for the winding up ceremony. Requesting all of our foreign guests also to join us on the stage for winding up International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. And besides, I would also love to welcome Mr. Ashik, SKF Director, onto the stage, please. So welcoming all our esteemed guests onto the stage for winding up International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. And now it's time to quantify the output of the summit. So now it's my pleasure to welcome Honorable Secretary of Sports, Sri Pranab Jyotinath IAS, to deliver the summit declaration. So welcoming Pranab sir for the summit declaration. So it is our pleasure to welcome also Mr. Sudhir SS also onto the stage to please join us for the winding up ceremony. Welcoming Sri Sudhir SS to please join us for the winding up ceremony. We would also love to have all the standing committee members and also District Sports Council delegates also onto the stage, please, to please join us for the winding up ceremony of International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024. So we all have the esteemed guests here on the stage, and it is high time for us to now wind up the International Sports Summit of Kerala 2024, and it's time to quantify the output of the most prestigious event, International Sports Summit. And it is our pleasure to invite Honorable Secretary of Sports, Sri Pranab Nath IAS, to please deliver the summit declaration. Welcoming you, sir.
Hello. Namaskaram. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. Today is the fourth day. Actually, we could not see such a very fast way all moved all of a sudden. On 23rd evening, in the same podium, I came here for my welcome address, and today the conclusion time has arrived. I may not say it is a conclusion. In fact, it is beginning for us something, and it's not a conclusion because the things that we all have learned last 4 days have definitely given us something new, which we must have to carry forward, and we can't say it is a conclusion, it's a beginning in fact. But still, as a part of International Sports Summit 2024, which could have been conducted, if I am not wrong, I have been in Kerala for last almost 20 years. But such a meticulous way an event has been conducted where all the cabinet ministers, including Honorable Chief Minister, has come to chair sessions. I don't think any other time it has happened. And this all has happened only because of our Honorable Minister for Sports, Sri V. Abdul Rahman sir. So we must give a big clap to him for this. Sir, it is only because of you that this entire thing is possible. A lot of things we have learned from you during this, and we have discovered a different Rahman sir in this thing, Abdul Rahman sir, that his working capability, the leadership, we all must, a sport, sir, you are also a sports person, sir, you are a sportsman, that we have come to know from this way. My heartfelt gratitude and sincere thanks to you, sir, for these entire things, and you have made sports department to a different level, it has come to a different height. And that's what I am not saying it is a conclusion. You have given us such a higher target for us, now it's a beginning. So it has given a different level. So in this entire summit, if we start from the beginning, Honorable CM sir came here, all the cabinet ministers, many of the respected MPs, respected MLAs, all the additional chief secretaries, chief secretary of the government, all principal secretaries, all department officers, senior department officers, sports stars, including a large sport community and fraternity. So many distinguished persons have come here during the last 4 days. So it was really not a sports summit, it was also sports get-together. So that is something which is, I think, unique in its kind in last 4 days. If we just want to say, highlight detail of the points which we have got from this summit, this last 4 days, 2,478 participants have participated throughout. All the time this hall was full, and not only this venue, this has been conducted in 13 different venues. And everywhere if you go, I have gone to all the 13 venues, you will find the same situation. The people have participated with huge enthusiasm. So this is the sportsman-like spirit which in fact this summit itself has proved. In this entire summit, we have got rupees 5,025 crore worth of investment proposals, which is, I think, one of its kind and unique in the history of sports in Kerala. And I don't think any of the state has been able to, such a concerted we have been able to do. We are especially thankful to all the participants, those from the 13 different countries, 18 different delegates came to us here. That itself is one of the indicators of success of the seminar. There have been from 35 experts from different parts of the country, from India also participated here. There have been proposals received from 41 sports associations. They have submitted their proposal. 45 research proposals have been received, 47 research proposals have been received during this period of time. There has been GIST presentation of 632 micro summits presentation from 1200 local bodies of Kerala. There has been more than 100 one-to-one business meet happened during the time of the summit. 55 companies have participated in the expo. 14 district sports council have presented their roadmap for future 5 years and more with different projects. They each and one are presented in a separate location in this same premise. There have been 15 digital summits simultaneously conducted before the event and during. There has been Tour da Keralam, by which the cycle rally was conducted from Kasaragod to Trivandrum. Just before the event, with a participation of almost 50,000 people around the state of Kerala, K-Walk, and in the Trivandrum where more than 10,000 people participated, Honorable Minister led that K-Walk as the beginning of the summit. So if we see this entire gamut of things that has come up as a result of the summit is something really noteworthy and has put at the same time all of us on toes also. So how to go ahead in future? So we as a department under the able leadership of Honorable Minister have decided a work plan to follow the projects that we have received. So we have prepared a 100 days plan, or maybe 100 we will extend, which will be brought down further into maybe monthly level of follow-up at the officers level. So we have created a mechanism. The proposals will be followed in a meticulous way so that we bring outcome and make this summit something meaningful for the sports history of Kerala. Now, just to give our gratitude and thanks to each and everyone who came here, to start with Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala. This is also a part of the great vision of the Nava Keralam, which we have definitely grateful to Honorable Chief Minister for coming here. Secondly, none other than our Honorable Minister for Sports, who has tirelessly spent his entire morning to midnight, has been here. And not like this, before the summit, at least 4 months in advance, he has meticulously prepared everything. So sir, I thank sir, you and your entire team, your office entire, starting from PS and your entire team, big applause for that. Our respected Honorable Cabinet Ministers, almost, I'm not naming all of them who has come here, with session being on, they came here. Assembly session is on, but still they have come. So this is something only because of commitment of Honorable Minister. I thank all our Honorable Ministers, all the Honorable MPs and the MLAs, and also other senior political leaders who has graced the occasion. I thank all of you. All the senior officers of the government, including the Chief Secretary, Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretaries and the Secretaries who also came and gave their views on this occasion. I thank all of them also. All the state government departments who have participated here, I thank them. Session chairman, moderator, experts participating in all the 13 technical sessions, who is the major component, the engine of the summit. I thank all of them. I'm not naming, it is a long list, 13 technical sessions. So all, each and everyone, for your valuable views, which have contributed to build our dream and to move the dream set by Honorable Minister, that is sports economy, how to roll it. So I thank each one of you for contributing to it. I also thank all the media representatives who was throughout here, starting from recording, broadcasting, as also press conference and everything. The significant contribution led by LNCP in the academic session and supportive for all the entire process of the seminar is also something which is very significant. So I thank LNCP, starting from the head, Dr. Kishore, and the entire team for this thing. I also like to thank the tireless effort done by President, Kerala State Sports Council, the Vice President, Kerala State Sports Council, the standing committee members, all of the other team members of the entire council, the District Sports Council. So they have tirelessly worked for this thing. So meticulous planning they have done. So they must be thanked for this occasion. The officers in the directorate, including the Director, Sports and Youth Affairs, and all representatives from SKF and sports fraternity who has come and helped in the entire, I thank all of them in this occasion. Organizing committee members who has helped starting from the dreaming of the project till making a success, I thank them. All the academic and technical experts, steering committee members, all delegates coming from in and around the country and abroad, all the participating companies, the catering team who has given beautiful food for last 4 days. So I must thank all the catering team members. The event management team for last 4 months they have been working, and last particularly 15 days, no sleep for them. So I must thank the event management team. The team working in this Greenfield premise, the contributing team for it, I think all the team members who have helped it. And if I am forgetting somebody's name, also the sports stars and the sports fraternity who has made it a great success. I think that is a great idea by, again, Honorable Minister, sir, which will help us to further connect. If I am forgetting somebody's name, please excuse me. I am from the Department of Sports and the Government of Kerala, and on my personal behalf, I thank each and every one of you for making this event a big success and providing us the dream to move ahead, to make, as Sari is saying, a vibrant sports economy in Kerala, and also to Kerala to make a sports hub and sports superpower. I once again thank each and every one of you for joining us. Thank you so much. I request each and every one to stand for the national anthem.
പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, നമ്മുടെ കായിക വകുപ്പിന് കീഴിലുള്ള സംസ്ഥാന സ്പോർട്സ് കൗൺസിലിലെയും ഡയറക്ടറേറ്റിലെയും മുഴുവൻ സ്ഥിരം താൽക്കാലിക ജീവനക്കാർ, പരിശീലകർ ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ളവർ ഇതേ സദസ്സിൽ തന്നെ, ഈ വേദിയിൽ തന്നെ ഇരിക്കേണ്ടതാണ്.